Hello everyone. So yesterday we discussed about set and how to represent a set in different forms like in roster form and in set builder form. So today we will discuss about empty set. So empty sets. Okay. Now as the name says empty set, the set is empty. It means there is no element in the set, empty set. Okay, let's take an example. Suppose if I say that case A, let's say I'm taking set A, that x, set of all x such that x is a student, of class 11. Okay, this is my set. So obviously I will have some finite number in the set, finite elements. So there may be 40 students, 50 students in the class. But if I say that a set B, set of all x such that x is a student studying in class 11 and class 12 simultaneously. Okay, so do you think there will be an element in this set? Elements means there, do you think will there be any student who will be studying in class 11 and class 12 at the same time simultaneously? No, there will not be any student who will be studying in class 11 and in class 12 at the same time. So this set will be my empty set, as there will not be any element in this set. Okay, so this set B is called as my empty set. Now, how to represent an empty set? So, okay, before that, the other name of empty set is void set, or null set. So whether you say empty set or void set or null set, the meaning is same. Okay, now how do you represent an empty set? We represent an empty set by this symbol, the braces without any element in it, or b equals to 5. So if this is written or this is written, it means my set is empty. There is not even a single element in the set. So this is the concept of an empty set. Now let's take an example. So first example was this. Taking another example. So if I say the C is a set of all x such that x less than 2 greater than 1 and my x belongs to natural numbers. Do you think will there be any x which will be satisfying this condition? No, because there is not any single natural number between 1 and 2. So there will not be any element in this set. So I will say my C will be 5, empty set, or C equals to this, empty set. Okay, let's take another example. I say that set D such that set of all x such that x square minus 2 equals to 0 and x is a rational number. Do you think will there be any x which will satisfy these two conditions? No, because from here the value of x will be plus minus under root 2, which is not a rational number, which is an irrational number. So again my answer will be d equals to 5 or d equals to this. So whether you write this or this, the meaning is same. Okay, this is the concept of my empty set. Now coming to next topic. Okay. So empty set. Now the next topic is finite set. Finite set. Okay. Now the name itself says finite, means something which is countable, or the numbers we can count. Okay. So an empty set or a set having finite number of elements, is called as finite set. Otherwise my set will be infinite set. Otherwise set is called as infinite set. Okay. Now let's take an example. Say my set A equals to 1, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Can you count the elements of this set? Yes. The number of elements are 4. So this is represented by, if I say I want to represent the number of elements of a set, so it is represented by small n and whatever set we are talking about, let's say A. So the meaning of this is number of elements in set A, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Let's take another example. I say B equals to set of vowels. So A, E, I, O, U. Okay. So and B, how much it will be? 5? Yes. Okay. So this is how we represent the number of elements in a set, and these all sets, both of the sets are finite sets. Okay. Now let's take another example. Let's say set C, and I say all natural numbers. So C is my set of all natural numbers. 1, 2, 3, dot, dot, dot. Okay. Can you count the number of elements in this set? No. So this set will be called as my infinite set. Another example, let's say D, set of all x such that x is a number on number line, or say real number line. Okay. Can you count the number x, the elements of this set? Can you count the number of elements in this set? No. Again, D will be my infinite set. Okay. Now, so I'm writing it here. So this is my infinite set. Okay. Now the next topic is equal sets. Equal sets. Equal sets. Now again, as the name says, equal. So here we are talking about two sets and which are equal. Let's say set A and set B. Okay. Now if I say that set A equals to set B, I say set A equals to set B. What does it mean? What does it mean? Set A equals to set B. Is it number of elements are same? Is it number of elements of A equals to number of elements of B? No. No. These sets will not be equal. Okay. Then two sets are equal when all the elements of both the sets are same. When or if all the elements of set A are same as of set B. Okay, only then we will call two sets as equal sets. For example, if I say that A is a set of say let's say 1, 3, 4, 6, 9. Okay, and I say B equals to 1, 6, 9, 4, 4, 3. Can you say these sets are equal? Yes, because the elements of set A are same as elements of set B. Okay, that's why these will be called as now set A equals to set B. If I change this question a little bit, okay, let's say C 1, 6, 9, 4, 3, 5. Now can you say that set A equals to set B? So A equals to C. Can you say? No, because all the elements of A and C are not same. We have an extra element in set C. That's why set A is not equals to set C. Okay, so this is the concept of equal sets. Now let's take an example. Okay. Okay, let's take another example. Let's say set A equals to set of all x such that x is a letter in the word alloy. Okay, alloy. And I say set B equals to set of all x such that x is a letter in the word loyal, Loyal. Can you write these two sets in roster form? Yes, I can write A equals to, now A, comma L, comma O, comma Y. See, I have here here we have two L's, but I have taken L only once, okay, because generally we do not repeat the same element, okay, because there is no difference between whether we are writing it once or twice. So we usually we do not repeat the same element, okay. Now coming to B, we can write it like L, comma O, comma Y, comma A, okay. Can we say that set A equals to set B? A equals to B. Can we say? Just check the elements of both the sets. So we have A here also in the set B. L, yes, we have in the set B. O, yes, we have in set B. Y, yes. Okay, and vice versa. All the elements of set B are also in set A. That's why these two sets are called as equal sets. A equals to B. Okay, so this is the concept of equal sets. Okay. Now coming to next topic, which is subsets. Okay, now what is a subset? Okay, let's say that the definition of subset, let's say set A equals to 1, 2, 3, okay, and I say that set B equals to 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now set A is not equals to set B, okay, but you can see that all the elements of set A are in set B. All the elements of set A are in set B. From here we define the concept of subsets, okay. So subset, if all the elements of a set are also in another set, okay. So I name this set as set A and this another set as set B. Then my set, we call that A is a subset of set B, okay. Then we call as A is a subset of set B. Okay. Mathematically, how do we represent it? We represent it like A is a subset of B by this symbol. Okay. Let's take another example. Say set C equals to 2, 5, 9, 7. Okay. And set D equals to, let's say 3, 2, 5, 9, 8. Now, as per our definition, can we say that C is a subset of D? Okay, let's see. 2, yes, we have it in D. 5, yes. 9, yes, we have in D. Do we have element 7 in set D? No. So, we can say that C is not a subset of set D. And we represent it like this. Okay, C is not a subset of D. Is that clear? Okay. Now coming to the definition of the concept of proper subset and superset. Okay. In this subset, we have another definition before proceeding to superset and proper subset. We say that A equals to B, set A, set A is a subset of B if, let's say, an element A belongs to A, implies A belongs to set B. Only then we will say that our set A is a subset of set B. If an element A belongs to set A, which implies that A also belongs to set B. Okay, so I will write it as A is a subset of B if A belongs to set A, and it implies that element A also belongs to set B. Okay, so this is very important. Then only we will say that A is a subset of B. Okay, now coming to proper subset and superset. Okay, let's take an example. A equals to 5, 9, 6, 7, and let's say B equals to 5, 7, 6, 9, 10. Okay, now we see that A is a subset of B. I can write A is a subset of B because every element of set A is in set B. Every element of set A is in set B. But A is not equals to B. A is not equals to B because both sets are not equal. Because for two sets to be equal, all elements of B and all elements of A should be same. Okay, so in this case we call that A is a proper subset. The word is proper subset of B, and B is called as superset of A. Okay, so proper subset and superset, this is the concept of your proper subset and superset. Okay, now we have a set. The name of set is singleton set. Can you guess what does it mean? Singleton, from the name itself it says single. So a set which is having exactly one element in it is called as singleton set. So a set having only one element is called as singleton set. Okay, for example, I say A equals to this. So I am having only one element in set A. So this A will be called as my singleton set. Okay. Now let's take some examples on the of subsets. Okay. Natural numbers. Set of natural numbers is a subset of rational numbers, which is a subset of real numbers. Okay. Now T is a subset of R, real numbers. What is T? Set of irrational numbers. Okay. And T is not a subset of Q. I can say it. T is not a subset of Q. Okay.